We'll have a fun presentation for you guys. Gordon, you want to say something before we get going?
I just want to thank you, Dana, Tyson, for all the help, and the whole crew at CFIN. They've been excellent to work with. We weren't successful the first time, so try again. But I got to say that I'm super impressed with all the companies that I've seen here today. Like, this is amazing. And what a huge benefit to be part of this ecosystem. So thanks, and thanks for being here. Quinn, over to you.
All right, thanks, Gordon. So we're RFINE Biomass Solutions, and like Tyson introduced, we're a clean technology company providing cost-saving solutions for the quick service coffee vendors to repurpose their spent coffee grounds into valuable food resources. I'm Quinn, I'm a chemical engineer by background. You got to know Gordon a little bit as well. Our average founder age is about 45, and that's all I'll say. We can make a guessing game out of the rest of it. So we're dealing with spent coffee grounds, right? The post-consumer waste product from coffee consumption, right? There's probably lots of it produced today here, and there's lots of it across the globe. You know, we drink a ton of coffee. About 2.25 billion cups of coffee are consumed around the world every single day, which generates tons and tons of waste. Also, at the farming side, there's lots of waste, but also, you know, really all we do is pour water over this material and discard well over 90% of that mass. So tons and tons of waste material. About 60,000 tons of spent coffee grounds are generated every single day. To give that perspective, that's the same quantity that can go on a Supermax tanker shipping vessel. So the biggest shipping container vessel you could put out there, you could put all the coffee produced every single day onto that boat. So it's enormous, enormous quantities. And in Canada alone, we're a little bit smaller, but we still drink lots of coffee, about 80 tractor trailer loads every single day. So huge, huge quantities, most often destined for landfill. And it's an underutilized resource, right? It's this globally traded food crop commodity. We spend all kinds of water, energy, time, fuel to grow it, ship it all over the world, really to barely use it, right? Like I said, we really just pass water over it and discard of all of that resource. And it's full of antioxidants, protein, fiber, lots of great nutritionally viable things that we can extract from it, but it doesn't look or feel like food. So some of you might have had some fudge. We probably should have put a little note that said there's spent coffee in it, but I kind of like that. Maybe some people didn't know, but there's a perfect example of how you can use it kind of in the context of cocoa powder alternatives. So we were founded in 2022. We're still a fairly young company. We've grown a lot recently. We're up to about 17 people, a mix of fractional and full-time folks. We're based in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We recently just closed a pre-seed round that was oversubscribed, which we're pretty happy about. And you can see at the bottom, we've got a whole list of awesome partners, including CFIN, who we're here today with. Natural Products Canada is on board as well, and the whole list as well. I won't spend too much time reading it, but we're very fortunate that we get a lot of support from our collaborations with industry partners. They love what we're doing, we love working with them, and they're helping us de-risk this investment. The market's pretty huge, right? So quick service coffee vendors, the likes of Tim Hortons, McDonald's, Starbucks, that's really who we're selling our patented technology to. There's over 10,000 in Canada, there's over 100,000 in the United States, and there's over 500,000 in our total market. We stopped counting. There's just millions and millions of coffee shops across the globe, and they've all got some things in common. They're paying to dispose of spent coffee grounds, a wet, heavy waste material. 75% of the weight that they're actually paying waste management companies to haul away is water. So they're paying to throw away tons of water every year, which is kind of silly. They also need solutions to optimize their resources, right? These are very highly optimized environments. You can imagine the Starbucks, McDonald's, you know, they're very, very highly optimized. And the fact that they're barely using something that they pay for really goes against the status quo. So there's a real incentive to use more of the things they pay for. And they have the unique consumer-facing pressure to adopt more sustainable practices, right? We're hearing about it all the time in the news. We want McDonald's to do better. We want Starbucks to do better. And it's people like me who are pushing them to do so. So there's a real incentive for them to do something better as well. So here's the status quo, right? Here's what's going on today. So the coffee comes out of the brewer. Most often they dump it out of a waste bin at their feet. When that gets full, they truck it outside and dump it in a garbage bin that is often destined for landfill. It's wet, it's heavy. You got to go outside in the rain, potentially the ice and snow. It's not an ideal process. They then pay a waste management company to pick this up, truck it to a landfill, a CO2 emitting process where it then decomposes and off gases tons of methane. So it's a really harmful process, and there's lots and lots of this stuff going to landfill every day. And here's how it could look with our in-store technology. So they can, instead of throwing it at the bin at their feet, they throw it into our Kaffika appliance, where it very energy efficiently removes the water and packages it in a food grade container. So The basic business model is, hey, Starbucks, today you're paying to throw away water. That's silly. It's cheaper for you to use our device. You can continue throwing it away if you choose, but now you've reduced the weight and volume so dramatically, you reduce your tipping fees from your waste management provider. However, because we've immediately, hot and fresh out of the brewer in a closed system, removed that water and packaged in a food-grade container, we can actually partner with these brands in a more meaningful level and have them backhaul this material on their food-grade trucks, where we can then sell this raw material to our partners in animal food and human food processing. Here's a bit of a visual on kind of how it works, just with McDonald's as an example. So this McDonald's would have our in-store patented technology. They would process it. They would have it in a packaged food-grade container where they can actually load this on their own fleet of distribution vehicles. So McDonald's receives 2 deliveries a week from their own fleet of distribution vehicles. Those trucks most often leave empty. So what we're proposing, because this is a food-grade material, it's no longer waste, you can actually put this on your food-grade truck, bring it back to your distribution center. We'll collect it and aggregate in huge volumes, quality assure through a series of tests to make sure no contamination occurred throughout the process, where then we bulk contain it and ship it to our partners, where they do wonderful things like make fudge, maybe. So the CFIN innovation priorities, I wanted to highlight this because it's awesome that you guys put them out there. It really prioritizes and allows the priority projects to float to the top. And I think, it was table stakes to have at least one of them, but we were proud that we could kind of check off all 3. I think we hit on food ecosystem sustainability, smart products and processes, right? This unique backhauling proposition really reduces the cost of collecting this, but also improves the sustainability in a really unique way, right? We don't have a fleet of diesel trucks driving around the city to collect this really highly dispersed resource. We're going to a single location and collecting hundreds and hundreds of kilograms. And agile and safe supply chains as well. So a little bit on the project that we're actually doing with CFIN support. We've also got Divert Nova Scotia, a provincial agency in Nova Scotia, and Natural Products Canada supporting this project as well. It's a 10-store demonstration pilot. That's McDonald's, but it's actually with some Tim Hortons locations in Maritime Canada. So we'll install 10 of our appliances in 10 locations, and it will allow us to prove out the whole model. So, we got working prototypes. We know they work. They dry the coffee. We can package it in a food-grade container. But now we need to test the full circularity of the solution and be sure that the traceability is there through and through. And this will lead us to commercialization. So this is a really big kind of pre-commercial activity. The biggest box we want to check off are these pilots, and we believe that will lead us into our first kind of small batch manufacturing. Some key timelines. So this project spans over the 2024 year. Some big items that we're going to be completing with the support from CFIN is to manufacture these appliances in partnership with our manufacturing partner, install them, begin the pilot, validate food safety at various stages throughout the supply chain, validate offtake use cases, offtake as in our partners in animal food or human food, generate greenhouse gas emissions data as well. There's a real carbon benefit to this play, mainly because of our unique backhaul proposition, and we believe that there's a lot of emissions reduction to be proud of, so we're looking into that and using this project to really explore that, and then we'll finish off the project. So participating in this project, we've got 10 Tim Hortons locations across Maritime Canada through 3 provinces. So that's PEI, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, all serviced through a single distribution center, which is really important for us. So all these stores are serviced from Truro, Nova Scotia. So we'll have 10 installations across Maritime Canada, and our material will be flowing through Truro, where we'll collect it, quality assure at a co-located facility, and ship that off to our offtake partners. So notably, you have Oberlin Agriscience as an offtake partner. They're a really important partner for us. They actually rear black soldier fly larvae. I won't get into that right now, but if you don't know about it, look it up. It's pretty cool. Kind of weird, but cool. And they're really important for us because they can use huge quantities of this material. There's so much of this stuff at scale, we'll end up having a supply issue if we can't find really big homes for a lot of material. So Oberlin's kind of that foundation. They can use tons and tons of this stuff. Crosby Foods in New Brunswick is also a partner with us, an investing partner as well. They're a food manufacturer, 140 years old, and they're highly interested in taking our food-grade raw material to process cocoa powder alternatives, sustainable, low-cost alternative for cocoa powder, a high-price commodity, volatile, and not a sustainable crop. Green Sage Prebiotics is another amazing company locally who's engaged in a fermentation process for prebiotics. There's the compound they're interested in. There's a lot of in coffee, so we provide the food grade raw material for them as well. Just as coffee roasters in Grand Prairie, Nova Scotia. They're a kind of locally famous coffee shop, but they also have nationally retailed consumer packaged good products like hot chocolate powders that they want to integrate our ingredients into. Sure Shot Solutions, they are manufacturing partners. So if you go to a Tim Hortons and get a double-double, the dispensing machine you click twice is their machine, the Sure Shot. They just happen to be in our backyard. They've got the exact same target customers as us, which is amazing. They service McDonald's, Tim Hortons globally. And they've got tons of expertise with our target customers, customer service, maintenance fleets, everything we can leverage, which is just really, really amazing. And Carbon Asset North America is the company we're engaging to trace out the carbon benefit of this strategy. So there's some fun project outcomes that come out of successful, assuming that this is successful and we are able to commercialize, it will lead to more jobs, right? Not just for us, but it's a collaborative effort, right? There's going to be more staff that's needed at Crosby Foods, at Green Stage Prebiotics, at Oberland Agriscience, right? So it really feeds into the ecosystem in a really cool way. We also have the potential to roll it with a global brand and have real global impact, right? We're designing this for these major global chains to fit seamlessly in their operations, and there's a real possibility that we can have a really significant impact on this giant supply of waste material we were talking about earlier. Export opportunities as well, right? Like I said, global opportunity. We can provide this to anywhere, right? Europe's a big market for us, and we expect to have export opportunity. We'll scale up manufacturing, which will bring business to Sure Shot. And I think in generally, it's just some global innovation all coming from Canada, which is pretty cool and supported by Canadian Food Innovation Network. So that's it. You can see all of our project partners in our loop there. I just want to thank CFIN. Dana, thank you so much for having us, even though Gordon tried to invite himself last year. Nice to be invited. Tyson McGinnis, special shout out too. Awesome. He's just been, even before you guys gave us funding, he was just totally supportive through and through ever since we met him, and it was really great. And everyone else in the room, all the collaborators, all the guests, thank you very much for listening.